Let's frickin' go. That is one way to spark the round up just a little bit. I have been ace hunting with this Rhino for a long time. Now let's go toss some plastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Holton Disc Golf Course, and you guessed it, Holton, Michigan. And we're starting off with a dead straight 360 feet. You have all the room in the world to work with, but as you guys know, it is way too early for a hole this long. Being that I'm not very warmed up yet, we are gonna go with our champion arc. I'm really excited to get this round started. Oh, get some stability and it'll be okay. Get some stability. All right, not bad. We went a little deep, but hopefully we can knock that putt down. Let's get started. Really happy with that first drive. Hole 2, and it's essentially the same thing, except this one is 395 feet. Dead straight, plenty of room to work with. I doubt the arm is warmed up enough for this one, but I promise you after these first couple holes, our arm will be ready to go. We are gonna full send our Halo Wraith. Get some stability. All right, I think we got up there decently. I'm not sure if we made it pin high, but we will gladly take that. As expected, we did come up a little bit short, and unfortunately we landed right behind this little pine tree, leaving ourselves a tricky, probably 23-foot straddle putt for the 2. Nope. No, sir. That was never it. Hole 3, again guys, it's the same thing, 375 feet dead straight. I promise this is the last of the make your arm hurt for the rest of the round holes, but we are gonna full send our Wraith one more time. Oh, get down. All right, that was definitely our worst one of the 3. We hyzered out, off to the left, it's gonna be a long putt. Here's our first tester putt of the day, probably about 42 feet. The putting's been doing really good lately, so hopefully today we can keep that up. Nope. That was the perfect timing to talk about how good the putting's gonna be today. Not an ideal start. You guys know the drill. If I comment on something, it's gonna be the exact opposite. I am gonna take a second and have a reflection moment. Way back in the day when I first started playing, Holton was one of the first courses that I played, and I remember standing on these first few holes and thinking there's no way that I will ever be able to throw a disc that far. And guys, with time, the distance will come. I know everyone, the first thing they wanna do is just chuck long drives. That's all they focus on, but distance, it takes time, repetition, and you'll get there. Hole 4, 300 feet. Guys, make sure you let me know if you like this kind of wide camera angle lens. It is basically just a huge meat hook hyzer the entire way. We are gonna try our Halo S Blend Scepter. I think that might be way too left. Let's go find out. Well, surprisingly, we were not too left, but we did come up a little bit short, leaving ourselves about 22, 23 feet for the 2. Nice. Oh my goodness. Wowzers. Wow. Talk about celebrating a little too early, I guess. Hole 5, 265 feet, dead straight. As the kids would say, we're not exactly coming in hot today, but we still have plenty of golf left to turn it around. We are gonna go with our Kia. Get up there. All right, I think that was a good shot. Hopefully we can make that putt. It kind of sounded like we hit the pole on that one, but it could have been the log or the tree. Regardless, a much needed birdie. Hole 6, it's only 210 feet, but this hole is an absolute pain in the butt. It is a huge meat hook off to the right. I believe that tree up there is a mando. We have to stay to the left side of that, so we are going to try to flick our splice. Oh, dang it. We caught that branch up there. If we would have been inside that branch, I think it would have been all right. To no surprise, we have left ourselves another tester putt. The wind is really starting to swirl out in this field. We will be moving to the woods for the rest of the round, probably about 42 feet for the 2. Oh, not a bad little run. Not great either. For the 3. Listen, weird thought of the day, but just hear me out. As you can see, this entire field is just full of little ant mounds. How many ants do you think are occupying this ground underneath the surface? You know what I mean? Everyone's always talking about aliens. No one's talking about ants taking over. I'm just saying, keep it in mind. Hole 7, it's only 180 feet, dead straight. It is a tricky line though. I wouldn't exactly call it an ace run. That diagonal tree up there is going right through the middle of the fairway. We are gonna try the Pro Rhino. 180 feet is kind of a weird distance for me, but hopefully this thing can pull through for us. Oh, wow. Well, that definitely caught some wind. I wouldn't call that pulling through for us, but it is pin high. It's time for us to wake up and knock one of these putts down. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Hole 8, it's 190 feet. As you guys can tell, we have the classic dealer's choice option. The basket is dead straight. You can go with your standard hyzer shot. You're probably gonna need a little skip, or you can go with your sidearm / turnover. You don't see tee pads like this very often, so you always gotta respect it when you do. We are gonna go with the hyzer shot with our Rhino. Get through. All right, I think we went a little deep, but we should be able to knock that putt down. Did go a little deeper than I expected, leaving us with a 15-foot straddle putt for the 2. Hole 9, 300 feet, dead straight. It looks like you pretty much want a flip up or slight ante the entire way. And for the first time on the channel, we are gonna throw our beautiful PFN I-Dyed Champion Leopard. Hopefully it can show out for its first shot. Oh, don't hyzer out. Oh, the wind's making it dance. I will say, with that disc, every time I kind of gauge my power when I throw it, I gotta add about 12%. It does have some stability left in it. Well, we have the absolute worst case scenario here. The leopard did land right up in the middle of this pine tree. I'm gonna try a nice little turnover flick shot with our hammer. I'm telling you right now, guys, the ticks and the sand fleas are making their shot. I'm pretty sure that I'm absolutely covered right now. Oh, not a bad shot. For today's hole 9 break, I do want to talk about something that is very important in the disc golf world. Now that I have been home for a little bit, I am seeing a ton of new faces out at my local courses, and you absolutely love to see it. But what I'm also noticing in correlation with that is a lot more trash. Listen, guys, I cannot stress it enough. It is so important to take care of your local courses. Whatever you pack in, pack out. Not all courses are gonna have trash cans everywhere. Yes, it's nice. Yes, it does help with the trash problem, but at the end of the day, we are all adults and we should all be able to take care of our own business and bring out all of the garbage out of the course that we brought in. And this is something that I obviously want to lead by example on. I do have a challenge for you guys. I want you to pick one of your local courses, just go head there with a trash bag, walk it real quick and help clean it up. And if any of you guys do that, I would love to see it. Send me some pictures of it on Facebook. That is a great way to message me. Just look up the Tossing Plastic channel and get a hold of me on Messenger. Remember, guys, Tossing Plastic has a dual meaning. Yes, we are out in the woods tossing plastic, our discs, but also cleaning up the courses, picking up the environment, and treating it with respect. The course that I'm gonna choose and that I will go to tomorrow morning will be my local course, Rat's Nest. I will show you guys the proof, so I'm not just one talking the talk and not walking the walk, but remember guys, always take care of your local courses. Hole 10, it's only 175 feet, and this is a very deceiving hole from the tee pad. It looks like you wanna go with a flick shot, but I actually think it favors that slight ante shot a little bit more. You want a pretty decent right turn and then a left finish if you can. We are gonna full send it with the P Waka Waka. Oh, that looks perfect. Oh, I think that had to be a little run. That was as good as I could have thrown it. Nothing quite beats a good P Waka Waka throw. Hole 11, it's only 180 feet. It looks like a pretty standard hyzer shot. We are just gonna toss our key up there, maybe give it a little run. I think I threw that way too. Oh, wow. You know, probably the simplest hole here, and I just completely botched that. We're fighting for it now. To be honest, I think that tree hit did save us. I think the Kia would have sailed way past the basket. Hopefully we can knock down this tricky little straddle putt, probably about 35 feet. Come on. Oh, good, not great. Good, not great. Hole 12, 190 feet. You pretty much want a slight ante the entire way or a nice little sidearm flick. I do apologize that you can't see much and probably can never see a basket. They are a pretty tricky color for being in the woods. We are gonna full send our Envy. Oh, I think that's good, but it's way too deep. Oh. We did catch a tree. I think that may have saved us. I think we just came in a fuzz early and hit that tree right there. It had to be a decent run. One thing about Holton is the fact that it is the king of sand fleas. All these little dots you guys see on the Kia are sand fleas. They will move around, they'll jump. It is absolutely insane. Hole 13, it's only 185 feet. This is definitely an ace run, slightly downhill the entire way. We are gonna full send it with our Envy. All right, we never had the height for a run, but should be a pretty routine birdie. That I just grabbed my Rhino for a second throw and just aced it. The first ever Rhino ace. Are you kidding me? That was so pure. It was lined up the entire way. Let's go. Well, you know what they say, player 2 is usually better. Let's frickin' go. That is one way to spark the round up just a little bit. I have been ace hunting with this Rhino for a long time. Hole 14, this one's only 150 feet. This course is much shorter than I remember it. This is a pretty tricky line though. Absolute meat hook to the left. I would probably go with my Justice here, but we have to try the Rhino for the possible back-to-back. Nope, that doesn't have the height. Well, we caught a tree. I think it pushed us right towards the basket. For the 2.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Hole 15, 220 feet. Again, guys, I do apologize for these camera angles. I'm really trying my best here. Holton is a very congested course, not a lot of room around the tee pads, but we have 220 feet, just a pretty standard hyzer shot. We are gonna go with our Kia. Get around it. Never had a chance. Dead center of that tree. The one tree we had to beat. But we still have 95 feet to the basket, so as you can tell, we really got a hold of that drive. You can go with kind of an ante putt. I'm gonna go with a high hyzer putt. Hopefully it just drops in there and at least gives us a tap in. Hyzer in. All right, we caught that branch, but we should be okay. For the par. Every time I come out and play Holton, I get these nasty flashbacks of way back in the day. Me and the boys came here and played some doubles, and I made probably what at that time was the best putt of my life. It was a long scrambled putt, probably about 70 feet out of the woods into the basket, and it was the first and only time that while playing a casual round, I was called on a foot fault. And yes, Boots, I still remember that, and I still have not forgave you for that incident. So guys, just a public service announcement, be one of the boys, don't be a Boots. I'm not sorry. Hole 16, 245 feet. It looks like it is a huge ante shot the entire way. I know the camera is right behind me. I will try my best to get out of the way, but for the first time on the channel, we are gonna full send our star Skeeter. I think that was pretty good. I heard a couple tree branch hits, but let's find out where we ended up. The Skeeter definitely showed out for its first shot on the channel. Hole 17, 325 feet, usually about 2/3 of the way up there. This whole fairway turns into a swamp, so hopefully we can get over that. We are gonna full send our champion leopard. See? Oh my gosh. I said I needed to add 12%. I threw that way too hard, overturned it, and we're probably exactly in that swamp I was just hoping that we would avoid. That's gonna be a tough up and down. Well, after a very enjoyable, deep exploration of the swamp, we have finally found our leopard. We're still 143 feet from the pin. I'm gonna go with a huge hyzer shot with our Justice. Hopefully, we can just get up and down. All right, not sure where that landed, but it sounded like it hit dry land, so we'll take that as a win. The Justice definitely got us out of that one. And rounding off our day here at Holton Disc Golf Course, we have hole 18, 195 feet. It is uphill the entire way, basically dead straight. We are gonna full send our Rhino. Oh. That definitely, I hope I didn't lean in front of the tracer. It definitely finished way right. The Rhino took longer than I would like to admit to find. I did not think that it was gonna go deep on this basket. We have left ourselves with a very tricky final putt, probably about 45, 50 feet for the two. Come on, end on a good note. Oh, oh my. I don't know, can we call that a good note? I don't think so. And that wraps up today's video at Holton Disc Golf Course in Holton, Michigan. And guys, I will be really honest, Holton is a hard course for me to give a rating to. Holton has nice concrete tee pads. The tee signs are very minimal, but they get the job done. I have no complaints there. You're definitely not gonna find yourself getting lost from hole to hole either. And they have a lot of trash cans out here, and let me tell you guys, it shows. I didn't see any trash while playing the course today. As you guys saw, the first 4 or 5 holes here at Holton, that took me about 9 takes to say, are pretty standard. They're wide open bomber shots. They are great for testing new drivers. After that, you go off into the woods and you get almost the exact opposite of that, which I do enjoy. You have a lot of very short and technical shots. It's great for off the tee putter shot practice. For me, to be completely honest, I've never been a big fan of Holton. There's nothing about this course that excites me. Every tee shot you just kind of walk up to, pick your disc, routine, nothing that really stimulates the brain or gets me fired up in any way. Holton is kind of secluded out by itself in Michigan, but if you are traveling through, if you are willing to drive a bit more, if you put a big bubble around Holton, there is quite a few courses, and in my opinion, they're all much better. And the final thing about Holton is the fact that it is extremely buggy. If you come here in the middle of the summer, you will get eaten alive by mosquitoes. The course does get pretty overgrown. As you guys saw today, bugs were not a huge issue. You did see the sand fleas, but while I was walking through the course and getting by the water, I can see all of those mosquitoes starting to hatch. Overall, after a lot of consideration, I'm gonna give Holton Disc Golf Course the solid score of 7.3 out of 10. Personally, I would give it a lower score, but really it is not a bad course. It has everything you need to come out and have a decent day of disc golf. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.